Hi, Jacqui. Welcome back.
Hi, Leah. Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Not too bad, just kind of tired from a long day today.
Yeah. Work?
Yeah, I worked. Here and there, I kind of split up my time with, the two different departments, and, I just have been trying to catch up with my homework after working all day.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start. So last time, reflecting on our conversation, there were a few different things that you had brought up. The main thing being figuring out your role in your internship between the professional staff and the students and where you kind of fit in with all of that. You also mentioned that you wanted to work on making boundaries and learning how to say no to certain things. So that's all correct so far?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Point.
How about let's start with today then, since you said you kind of split up your time. What does that mean?
Well, splitting my time with my internship, my role is I am more than half the time with student activities. That's, I guess, my primary role, and then the rest of the time I'm with residence life. So with that being said, for example, for a day like today, I spent most of my morning and after lunch with my student activities supervisor. I feel like she's always running around like a headless chicken, and there's so many things, so many assignments to do here and there, and sometimes I feel like I can't get a word out of her because she's always running around with all these things and trying to catch up with her. And then the rest of my day, of the work day, I am in the other office. In the residence life, it's much more relaxed and kind of unwind, but at the same time, it's kind of like the paces are so opposite. So it's kind of giving me a different perspective on that, I guess.
Right. So not only are you trying to figure out with the professionals and with the students where you fit in, but also between, it seems like you're being pulled in between the two different departments.
Exactly, yeah. Where I feel the first department, the student activities, I feel it's, granted, it's, in an office that's on the main campus, where, the students and other professional staff members always come in, faculty and visitors come in, day out, where, you have to put up a more professional front. And so I get the atmosphere, the feeling that you kind of have to, stand up tall and, have a, more eloquent vocabulary and, have a better conversation that's a lot more professional and formal, whereas in residence life, it's within the residence hall, where I work, it's in the basement, and it's a lot, very limited amount of people or students come by anyway, so we barely get any visitors, and, the whole relaxed, laid-back atmosphere, and I feel I kind of just be more myself there.
Okay. So how is that for you, the two opposing things? How do you deal with that?
It's been rough, to be honest, because granted I'm new to this role, and I understand from my overall supervisor, who is the director of residence life, I did mention to him how he told me this is my first, I'm the first intern for this position, and they're kind of feeling out what it's like, or going to be like, with having someone be with student activities as well as with residence life. And I haven't spoken to him yet. Granted, it's still kind of the beginning of the semester, so I'm trying to still wait it out and trying to progress on my own and figure out where I stand.
Yeah, that's a good thing too.
But I feel it's just been really tough because I think because I'm not speaking up about it, I'm just keeping it to myself, or I'm venting to my other graduate assistant friends that also live on campus like me about it, and just kind of have an outlet with it, and just after that I just try to deal with it, or just again try to figure it out day by day by being in these offices, how to mold myself better into this position.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's just a work in progress, but it's a frustrating one because, again, I think it's because I'm not speaking up to them to work out, okay, how exactly should I present myself to them, because I feel one part of me feels I have to look and act a certain way with the student activities, and then the other half of me, I could just be more myself with residence life. So I'm kind of fighting that little battle of who I am.
Sure, yeah. It could be definitely frustrating, too, to have such opposite feelings in both departments.
Oh, yeah. And it's not fun. It's been a little conflicting, you know. I don't want to feel like, I'm going to have to pick a side of who I like better to work with, especially because it's still all new to me and I don't know them too well yet to kind of figure out who I am comfortable with. Because I understand this is just for professional, work experience. It's not my life.
Right.
But I understand, like, because I live here, it's also kind of impacting me because I'm here all the time.
Right. And since you do live where you work and you've got all these people that I guess you're constantly with them, it is kind of your, short-term life.
Yeah.
So,
my little bubble.
It could feel like that.
Definitely.
So, all right. So, what do you? I mean, you kind of already told me, I guess, what you want out of both sides. What do you think? What would you like from, say, student activities? We'll focus on first. What do you want from that department?
What I want from that department in particular with my supervisor, I just want more clarity from her as in terms of what she is expecting of me to do for her.
Okay.
I am expecting her to communicate better with me because so far, again, I understand I'm new and she's never had an intern before. She's never supervised. I know she's working on it as well. We're both, trying to work together sort of, but one thing that is bothering me is her lack of communication towards me. Okay. Simple things, I'm a human, so I have feelings. I would hope she wants to, like, talk to me a little bit and not just work.
Right.
So I guess, expectation, I would say communication, whether it's work or just being social, as well as giving me telling me exactly what my responsibilities are, instead of, maybe that's part of my issue, is that I always feel I need to know the answers, whereas being here so far, I don't always have an answer. I don't have clarity from them at all. It's always I have to ask them, keep asking, and have them tell me every time instead of having it out from the beginning.
So I guess you could call it ambiguity. Sorry, of what is expected of you is what is more concerning or is hard for you to process.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not really good with the ambiguity. That
word.
Yeah, long word, the vagueness of, not knowing what I'm doing because I'm more direct. So I think that's part of my personality and work ethic, I guess. So I think I'm feeling like that's kind of impacting how I'm communicating or collaborating with her. We're clashing a little bit.
Okay. So have you done anything to express that, or have you sat down and spoke with her about it?
Since it's still kind of the beginning. Before the semester actually started, I started already interning here, working and kind of learning the ropes a bit. And we did talk sort of the first time for one of the events, and that was kind of it wasn't a big issue. It went away.
Okay.
It wasn't a total big issue because, again, it's still the beginning, but I guess I did not do something to her standards in terms of my role, and that's due to lack of communication from her. So with that, we did communicate right then and there, and I asked her, like, I would like to talk to you more about what my roles are, because I'm feeling like I don't know where I stand, with these positions. I don't know why you're telling me to do this. You're not giving me explanations, because she was getting frustrated that she didn't feel comfortable with, me doing something, because for example, a cash box.
Mm-hmm.
She assigned me to be by the cash box for this event, and I was with other students, so she was selecting the students that were helping out as well, these random assignments as well, and they were all with me at this table, and they were all rotating to go in the event and then come back out, so they included me, and again, because there was no clear, definition of what my role was to her, I just went with it, and, I think, again, another part of the issue is I'm close in age to them, so they don't see me, or I feel like, I'm not sure if they really see me as someone that's above them right now, because of this ambiguity of her not making that clarity, saying, look, you look up to her, she is in this role.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like, all right, I'm just running around, all these events are happening, I just need you to be here, with no explanation.
Right.
So that was the first encounterment that I had with her,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of communicating about what my roles and expectations are from her.
So I'm just a little unclear. What was the issue that she didn't disliked, or how did you know that she disliked something?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
She did not like the fact that with this cash box that I left to participate in the event.
Oh, okay.
And then another staff noticed and called me to come back to it without saying anything else, just telling me, oh, you should come back and stay here. I had a feeling something was wrong, but again, she didn't tell me why I was supposed to be there. She didn't. She just, like every other student, assigned them to a spot at the table.
All right.
And I don't know her, right now. So all these students understand her, and I don't. So, for me, I was confused, and I did feel bad that I felt like I did something terrible or wrong. But again, that was on her as well, that she didn't talk me through this event and what was going to occur.
So did she make it known that it was wrong of you? That's what you basically said, that it was wrong of you.
Initially, but after me telling her about how I felt that I had no idea what I was doing and what she expected of me, I think she understood where I was coming from and took a step back to realize that, yeah, that might have been wrong of me, but at the same time, it was wrong of her to not have told me or explained to me this whole event with where I was supposed to be in the first place.
Okay, so she does acknowledge, too, that she needs to be careful of her role towards you as well.
Right.
And make it more clear what she needs to do.
Exactly.
In order to supervise you in an efficient way.
That
you feel like you're getting that experience and that gaining knowledge, not feeling like you're doing something wrong.
Pretty much, yeah. I would say pretty much have it all down pat.
Okay, so what would be... I mean, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but what would be an ideal situation with a supervisor?
Of how to supervise?
In communication, right.
I think ideally I would love to have a supervisor, if I come in the morning, just have touch base with me. I go into the office, I'll ask, what that person needs from me to, needs for me to do that day. After we go over that, also just kind of like have a normal conversation, kind of feel like I'm a human instead of just do all these things. I guess I feel because maybe I'm just, a very social person, I always still try to ask how people are doing. I come by my office, or in general, I go into the dining hall, I'm always talking to the women that work there. And it's just kind of make them feel acknowledged, and that's how I would hope to feel ideally in a work environment, communicating wise. Just feel like acknowledge that, okay, yeah, I know you're here working for me, but I know you have emotions, you you must be going through things, or you have, want to have a conversation just that might enlighten you.
Right.
So I think just touching base with, my to-do list of tasks, if you will, and just having a casual little conversation.
Right.
Checking in, basically.
Checking in. Okay. So this acknowledgement that you've brought up a couple times, you actually use the term that you're a human.
Yeah.
We all feel that way sometimes. I know, like, do you even see me? I'm a human. Like, but so that's interesting. You brought it up twice now. Is there something particular that she does to make you feel less than, or X, Y, and Z? No,
I know what you mean. I mean, again, so far, this is, who knows, maybe it'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, I guess I feel less because of the lack of interaction between us. It's more so, I'm sitting at the desk, she's at her desk, I'm taking care of what her task she asked me of, and that's it.
Right.
And I see students come in, or other staff members, and I hear her, with her bubbly personality, all of a sudden, I feel like it's a side of her I have no idea. I feel like I get the impression she's, with work, it's all business and serious, and so that's my impression. So I feel sometimes I get a little stiff, and I'll feel quiet because I feel like I guess I just need to focus on my assignments.
Right.
And I guess I feel left out from that because like I said, I'm social. I like to interact, and I enjoy, hearing, more about people and just their stories. So sometimes when I hear that, I feel, I guess, left out. That, we don't get that communication.
Okay. And that's understandable. I mean, that's probably hard to hear her be that way with what seems like almost everyone else. And then there you are, the intern, just trying to figure out what to do.
Exactly, where I stand, and,
Yeah.
That's why I guess I feel like I'm, kind of like a robot.
Well, yeah, that's not, we're not wired, like there's a lot of complexities in us, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's definitely figure that out. So you've told me that you brought up a couple times to her, I need more clarity, or just this communication piece that you're looking for. Is it working? Do you feel like there's progress from that?
In terms of me asking her for the clarity of what I need from her? Or...
Yeah, that, or, whatever, I guess, have you confronted her about just things in general?
Not yet. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
aside from that first confrontation
Mm-hmm.
of that event that, she pulled me aside and kind of reprimanded me, and then I spoke, telling her where I'm coming from, for her to understand. That was the only time. Other than that, I haven't really confronted her. I mean, after that, I really, because I'm new, I felt really bad. So I went into her office when I wasn't working, I believe, just to, again, show her that I felt bad, and I just apologized for my behavior. I'm still learning, and she knows that, and she appreciates. She didn't expect me to come out of my way to go and apologize. Again, it's not major, bad misbehavior that I did. It was just, it was miscommunication, and I just want to clear that air between us. Just to,
especially because you are that direct person that, wants, I guess, you're giving to her what seems like what you want back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where I try to, if I feel bad about something, I will talk about it. I will go to that person and admit if I felt I did something wrong, and just kind of work it out instead of, and figure out if there's confusion. Just figure that out in general instead of letting the person figure out the confusion on his or her own.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if that makes
absolutely does make sense. Yeah, and that's great. It's a great way of handling it. It's mature. And so I guess what I want to know is, after that first time that you did have that clarifying conversation with her, did you see anything change in the way that she acted? Or is that still, I know there's still more that you want from her. You still want more communication. But after speaking with her, what do you think, if anything, happened for her?
Well, after settling down with her and talking to her about what should be expected and what I asked for. One of the things I asked for was try to have we agreed to have a meeting every other week or every Friday, I believe, to go over the events for the following week that she wanted me to handle, and where she would go in detail about them and what they're about, what I'm expected to do. And after, settling that area, any other little tasks I've noticed a little bit, she would try to remember to explain to me. She doesn't always remember, so I would know, and I'm learning to just speak up and just ask her questions.
Okay.
Instead of expecting her to always explain it to me.
Right. And that's great. I mean, that's one of the first things that you had mentioned to me last time we met, that you want to learn when to speak up and how to speak up when you feel like there's something either not quite right or something more that you're looking for. So already, that's progress for you too.
It's true.
Yeah. So I think for next time that we should, and it seems like a two-way street. You're working with her; she also needs to work with you. But I think for next time, we should set a goal for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything on your mind that you feel like you could do more of, or that you want to do extra, or anything related to this current issue?
Relating to my supervisor? That's a good question. I would think what I want to do more of is just, I would say, speaking up and kind of being more assertive.
Okay.
I know, again, I feel, because of the atmosphere, like I mentioned earlier, I feel shy in that environment because of how it's not totally intense, but you could feel sometimes there's pressure from her, whether it's pressure from her own boss, so it's like it kind of rubs off. So I feel like, I just need to be my own little my desk, doing my little thing, and don't worry about anyone else. But that doesn't make me expose who I am. I'm bubbly and outgoing, and so I'm always direct. So I feel like that's kind of this vibe I get is kind of defeating who I am with being outgoing and direct. And so I want to kind of break through that bubble in that office.
All right, so we can start. There's a few different things I already see emerging from that. You're already taking charge of speaking up when you feel like you should speak up. Excuse me. So doing that alone is one previous goal that you can continue to follow through with, and you can let me know how that goes.
I definitely will.
And then also, I want for you to maybe somehow, however you feel like it's appropriate, let her know, you've got a life. And that's a very big thing to say, but, just more humanistic in the office. When she does feel that pressure, or you feel that pressure coming off of her, what could you do to change it?
That's actually something I need to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So you can start small. You can think about that very generally. If you think of anything that you want to start, great. If not, at least think about it, give it some thought. And then next time we can reconvene. We've run out of time, unfortunately. But, I already see progress in you, so that's a great thing.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be back again. And
Good.
I feel like I'm getting some more direction of how to navigate myself here or at my internship. But yeah, it's a work in progress. Even right now,
Absolutely.
Some of these questions I definitely have to mull over.
Okay.
And figure out how I could approach these topics.
Great. All right. Well, great work today. I'll see you. We'll do this again 2 weeks, same time,
same place,
same time, same place.
Sounds good.
And let me walk you out.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're
Leah.
welcome. It's great to see you again.
Great seeing you too.